Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to another live stream here on the channel. Hopefully everybody had a great last 3 to 4 days. Haven't seen you guys in quite a while, if we disclude the video that I recorded like 7 days ago and uploaded yesterday. Let's see what we have here in the chat. We have Legacy, Cody, Rockets, Marcus, L, Brooklyn, Team, as well as Logan, and everybody else who is in the stream who I may have forgotten to welcome, or if you're just tuning in or may not be chatting, glad to have you in here as well. Everyone else who is tuning in, and let's go ahead and switch on over. Welcome, Ben. I do want to just double check some things. All right, we should be good to go. I had to delay the stream a little longer because I ended up forgetting to do a few things. So I ended up pushing it back like a whole 60 seconds. So we're good to go now. We got a moderate risk for severe weather. Not really seeing a whole lot of significant severe weather, to be honest with you, in terms of anything tornadic. There is definitely a couple significant severes, though. We are seeing quite a few significant severes, mainly for hail. A lot of these we have about 4 out here in Texas, and then we have 2 for the same storm in Kansas. And then we did just get an additional one actually back out here into southeastern Minnesota. This line here is going to go into western Wisconsin, northern Iowa. Really not really a lot of tornadic activity. We had a quick gust tornado that was reported as a tornado, so that doesn't count as an actual tornado. From what I have seen, I haven't looked at radar all day today because I was on the road for about 11 hours, so that wasn't too fun. But I didn't see any tornadoes. I didn't see a single tornado at all today. I did see a few tornado warnings. I was on with a friend here about 20 minutes ago. I saw we had about 5-6 tornado warnings up. And there's a few things that are getting going that I would like to talk about. So I decided to start up the stream a good solid 40-ish minutes early so we could just talk about all these severe storms that are happening here. I mean, some of these are actually going sub-severe at this point. Sub-severe inside the moderate risk area. So big time underperformance. Main issue today is mainly dry air aloft. We got some dust up into the upper levels of the atmosphere. I don't really think that hurt storms, but what it did was it didn't split up any storms. We were kind of thinking dust may help push storms to be more discreet, and that didn't happen. So the main issue, I believe, is just simply put storm mode. I don't think we've seen enough discrete storms today. I don't think that dry air aloft really helped with any discrete storms forming either. So we've just had a lot of issues with storm mode. And I don't really think there's been any other huge factors, just really storm mode and the fact that we haven't seen any storms fire in like central or west central Iowa. Still getting this dumb old too good a Wi-Fi thing. So I think the only way I can fix that is by forcing it in Streamlabs. So I'll have to try that after stream. I'll have to fix a bunch of things and hope that I don't screw things up. Because I'll have to do advanced settings instead of simple. So maybe I'll try that tomorrow or something. So yeah, let's go ahead and just go over the overview here. We'll go ahead and we'll just stay with this scene for a little bit longer, but we'll clear it up just a bit. So here is your current SPC outlook here. So there you go. We do have a moderate risk for severe weather today, level 4 out of 5. It includes much of southeastern Minnesota, including the Twin Cities, good chunk of northeastern Iowa into a very large chunk of western Wisconsin. Main issue today is actually tornadoes. That is your tornado outlook. We've got a 15 significant risk for the potential of long-tracked, strong, intense tornadoes, and an isolated violent tornado is a possibility today if we can see discrete storms going. However, I really think the biggest tornado threat today is actually going to be on the southern end of the 15 sig tornado risk. I think the best chance for, if we see it, an intense to a violent tornado is actually going to be located out here into central and northern Iowa. So on kind of the southern end of that moderate risk area into a good chunk of the 10 sig tor risk. And then I also believe we could see an isolated intense tornado out here in southwestern Oklahoma. We have a discrete supercell that is fired up in southwestern Oklahoma. I believe that could be a big issue going up towards just south of Weatherford, Oklahoma here over the next hour and a half, maybe 2 hours or so. We'll need to keep an eye on that very closely. And I also think this one in Manhattan in northeastern Kansas. We talk about this often. The leading supercell often has the best inflow and allows for it to become the best chance for a tornadic storm. So that's going to be a cell to watch there. So Manhattan, northeast Kansas. Our supercell that is splitting in southwestern Oklahoma City, or southwestern Oklahoma, well to the southwest of OKC. And then just any discrete storms. If we switch over to satellite imagery, we have a CU field that has popped up out here in western Iowa, and we'll need to keep an eye on that to see if anything can form out of that. And if it does, it's going to move into the northern end of that enhanced risk, southern end of that 15 sig tornado risk, so edge of the enhanced and moderate. And that could become the biggest threat for tornadoes today. So definitely a few things to watch. Definitely going to end up with at least a severe weather outbreak today, as we are up to about, give or take, 17 severe storms, a new tornado warning coming in right now. No idea where that's going to be. That's going to be probably southern Minnesota. We'll figure out in just a second. Yeah, there you go. I was waiting for that.
Tornado warning for southeastern Faribault County in south-central Minnesota, western Freeborn County in south-central Minnesota, Faribault, and Freeborn County in Minnesota.
Tulsa, what, you're in a slight risk? I think you guys are fine. What, maybe worst case scenario, heavy rain, some damaging winds up to like 40, 50 miles an hour tonight. Wouldn't fully rule out a spin-up tornado, but the threat should be very low. Unless something like ridiculous uptrends in our environment or something like that, the threat for tornadoes in eastern Oklahoma should be very, very low. And, I mean, you're looking at, what, midnight? So that's 1 a.m. No, yeah, that's 1 a.m. your time. Yeah, 1 a.m. your time for severe storms being possibility. What else was I gonna answer to here? Yeah, I'm a little messed up here in terms of streaming. It's been a hot minute. Oh yeah, somebody asked about the race. Yeah, the race was awesome, but man, it was exhausting. It was exhausting. A 9-hour drive there. And then we stayed for a couple of days, like 2 days. We got there Friday night, stayed all day Saturday. Then we went to the race all day Sunday. It was an all-day thing. We got there. We left at like 10 a.m. And then we got to the Speedway at close to like noon. like 12:30. We stayed there all the way, left at like 7 o'clock, didn't get back till almost 9 or so. So it was a all day thing at the Speedway yesterday. And then we woke up at about like 5 a.m. this morning, left, and didn't get here till like 5 p.m. So the trip back was horrible. A lot of traffic and construction. So that was horrible. I'm a Chase Elliott person, Marcus. Yesterday, on the way back, I did see that violent tornado. Follow me on Twitter. I posted about it right before my phone died. I sent my last tweet yesterday. I sent that on like 2% before my phone died. I've never had my phone die before. That was the first time it's ever died. I was on like 2%. I sent that tweet out saying that it was a violent tornado and then just poof, couldn't tweet anymore. But yeah, this storm here, northeastern Kansas, it looks like this is really getting a damaging wind threat. We'll need to keep an eye on this to see if it tries to hook around. Sometimes your RFT tries to push out like this. You get those southeasterly winds and it really gets to kick up and rotate. I don't know about the wind shear here. I haven't had too much time. I did a little analysis with my friend on a call earlier today before I went live, but I didn't get to check everything here. Wind shear. Oh, yeah, this is entering a pretty good wind sheared environment. 150, 0 to 1 kilometer helicity. Good enough, good enough. I think this will be able to attempt to rotate, so we'll need to keep an eye on that. Currently warned for 70-mile-an-hour winds, 1.75 inch hail. That new tornado warning, if I'm not mistaken, was out here for southern Minnesota, for Clarks Grove, Albert Lee. Hey, look, Catman, it's you. That looks like Aiden from afar. Let's see. I think that storm in southwest Oklahoma is going to be a I-44 Ripper. It's kind of 50-50. I'm 50-50 on that, Catman. I saw your post, like, just before I went live. I saw your post on Twitter talking about that storm exploding in southwestern Oklahoma. Instability is up to, like, 5,500 over there in western Oklahoma. Yeah, it's up to 5,000. Let me see if I can get you an exact number. 5,138, at least according to the mesoanalysis that I just got a sounding on. So plenty of instability. I don't think there's much of an issue here. Yeah, dew point 72, temperatures low 80s. I mean, maybe... I think it was wind shear. Yeah, wind shear is only 100 at 0 to 1 kilometer, so that is the only issue. But with a cell split or a cell merge, that is easily something that can be overcome there. So I don't think that will be a huge issue for that storm. Considering we just got a special MCD saying an intense tornado threat's possible with that, I don't expect it to be a big issue. What was a tornado warning is now a severe storm for a tornado possible, 60-mile-an-hour winds and around 1-inch hail. So starting to see a lot less tornadic activity out here across our moderate risk area. We do have a little cold core setup back out here. That's what these severe storms are for. A little bit of a cold core setup there. This is like on the dry line. I don't think that's gonna... Well, it is trying to become tornadic. Very, very much so. It is trying to become tornadic, but that's like directly on the dry line in northwestern Iowa. So we'll have to watch that one. You can actually see it's getting a hook, so actually wouldn't be shocked to see this get warned here soon. It's not in the most favorable environment at the moment. However, it is entering a much better sheared environment. The biggest issue is dew points here. The main dry line is more to the east, so your dew points are only about 57 out here, with your temperatures at like 80. So a very elevated thunderstorm here, going towards, let's see, eventually towards Royal and Spencer in northwestern Iowa there. What's up, Hoop? Glad to see you in here. Yeah, so a few storms to watch. Definitely going to continue to keep a very close eye on this storm. This could quickly try to spin up a hook echo and attempt to produce a tornado. We need to watch this closely. It's got a good outflow boundary, a good kink in the cluster here, and it's got okay wind shear. So I think this could definitely attempt to produce a big tornado if it can get a hook echo going, which is just really just a matter of how good that wind shear is. And then this is going to be the storm to watch for an intense tornado threat towards southwestern Oklahoma, maybe even going into central Oklahoma very late tonight. Not many model runs really picked up on this. I think the most accurate HRRR was probably the HRRR 20Z. It showed this initiating towards that initiated at like 7 o'clock, but it was in closer to Woodward, I believe. Not Woodward, my bad. Actually, Elk City. That's what I was thinking. Elk City. So it was closer to Elk City where the 20Z HRRR initiated it. So, no model's really handling this storm well. It's difficult to tell if it's going to be able to sustain an updraft or not. But we'll just monitor it towards Frederick, southwest Oklahoma. I do think there is an intense tornado threat today. The violent tornado threat is very, very much dependent on if a storm can stay discreet in central Iowa. I don't believe Oklahoma is going to be able to do a violent tornado threat. I don't think it's going to be able to produce a violent tornado threat by any means, not with the lack of wind shear. We'll really have to see towards dark. I'm thinking 8:30, 9 o'clock Eastern time, about an hour and a half from now. We can really figure out where our greatest tornado threat is going to set up once that wind shear really starts to increase in about an hour or so. I never saw today being a high risk. It never really honestly crossed my mind that today would be a high risk. I was shocked people were discussing a high risk with the setup today. 2 days ago, today looked like a moderate risk day when they issued that on their day 3 outlook. But last night, this morning, I never really saw it as a moderate risk at the moment, to be honest with you. Let's see. At least, this morning, it didn't seem like it was worth a moderate risk. But they kept it. They've had it since day 3, so they've kept it. National Weather Service just finished their preliminary survey from yesterday's tornado. They have concluded a 1.25 mile wide tornado. That's 1.25 miles wide tornado with winds around 130 miles per hour. It has been ruled as a high-end EF2 tornado from last night in northwestern Nebraska. That is preliminary. Could very easily end up increasing in winds. I'm honestly shocked it got an EF2 rating because I didn't think it hit a thing. I didn't believe it hit anything out there. So unfortunately, it seems like it did hit something. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Looking at northeastern Kansas here. We'll keep an eye on that. I don't think that's a CC. We'll see what the next scan has to show, though. Now, let me see if they say exactly what it hit. I know on radar, that thing had... That was up to, I think, like 215 mile an hour rotation on radar. Absolutely insane rotation yesterday in northwestern Nebraska. I think VROT was up to like 89 knots or something. 88, 89 knots. Absolutely insane. It still looks outflow dominant to me. Just going to keep monitoring it. I don't believe that has a tornado with it at the moment. But definitely could try to produce a tornado in the long term there. We're left with just one tornado warning. That's out here in Albert Lee. Is that Albert Lee or like Albert Leah? We'll go with Albert Lee. South Central Minnesota there. Um, don't really see much because it's far from the radar, but I mean, definitely want to be in your safe spot. Definitely want to be in your safe spot there. I was going to keep an eye on this broad area of rotation approaching Lake City in southeastern Minnesota. That's going to go into west central Wisconsin here over the next about 5-10 minutes. I don't think today was worth a moderate risk. Looking at model runs from last night and then waking up this morning looking at mesoanalysis, it didn't seem like it was worth a moderate risk. It's very conditional violent tornado threat, and actually it's a quite conditional intense tornado threat as well. It all comes down to if we see a discrete storm form, whether that be in Kansas or southwestern Oklahoma or central Iowa here in about an hour or so. It's conditional. It all depends off of if a discrete storm can get going. So I talked to my friend earlier, and I told him this reminds me very much of May 6th last year, that high risk for severe weather central Oklahoma. Most models were actually ending up showing a linear mode, yet they pulled the high risk. So that high risk actually ended up underperforming significantly because it was a conditional supercell threat. The environment was like off the charts, better than today by far, but a linear mode completely demolished the tornado threat on that day. So just storm mode it's a lot. Storm mode matters a bunch. The difference between a supercellular storm mode and a linear mode could be the difference between literally a super outbreak and nothing more than 50 to 60 mile-an-hour damaging winds. Because just discrete storms mean so much. Just storms being able to maintain in a volatile environment. And then if they're linear, they're all obviously in a line. Let's see here. Yeah, see, exactly, the Barnsdale tornado. That was and I believe they dropped the high risk before that tornado occurred. I'm pretty sure they dropped the high risk before that tornado happened in eastern Oklahoma. But that's what if we saw discrete storms, we would have had multiple of those storms on that day. And for today, that's what it all comes down to. We could easily have just one discrete storm. All it takes is one discrete storm in central Iowa. We could have a intense to violent tornado threat. They didn't drop the high risk right before that storm. I'm going to go check. I'm going to go look. Like last year's severe threat, it was honestly most of them were just a blur because of how crazy it was. Yeah, they didn't drop it. You're right. They did not. They kept the high risk on that day. You're right. I want to go back down to Oklahoma here. It doesn't look like a very healthy updraft, to be honest with you. It doesn't look like a really healthy storm. We'll just keep an eye on it. It's not maintaining like this storm is. This storm is maintaining, but it's a left split, which means it's a less tornadic storm. It's less favorable motion storm mode for a tornado to develop. So, I'm really just gonna watch that southern storm, but it doesn't seem to be intensifying much. Thank you, Ben. I did realize I missed the EF5 tornado in east central Mississippi. I don't know how I overlooked that. There was just so many storms. I actually fully overlooked an EF5 tornado in my April 27th, 2011 video from yesterday. I got most of them done, though. I have 42-minute video on that. It's my first case study, so I think I did good enough. It was still in the picture, like, if you go to the end, you can still see that there was an EF5 tornado there. It was in the video. It's just I never dedicated a full segment to it. I didn't dedicate a full segment to it. But it was still in that video. Like, if you go to it, you could still tell that there was a fourth EF5. And I mentioned 4 EF5s multiple times. Let's see here. Yeah, I think this storm is going to need a cell merge here in southwestern Oklahoma to really get going. So we'll keep an eye on that. Just see if it gets any mergers. Definitely some storms firing in southeastern Nebraska, but if we see any storms that become discrete, you could see very, very clearly where they would fire. They would fire just out in front of this front. So right at that white line is where they would fire, right around there. Marcus, mainly just a linear mode, to be honest with you. A linear mode and no discrete storms in the central portion of Iowa where the environment's the most favorable. I really didn't see this being a moderate risk. Once we got cams, the event never looked that good. Like for the NAM model on the day 3 outlook, when they pulled that moderate risk, I saw that, you know, it looked like a very favorable environment with discrete storms. But the closer we got, the more uncertainty there was in discrete storms. And then today, it's like, there's still a chance, though. There's still a chance we could get a discrete storm or two in central Iowa. And if that happens, you know, it only takes one in this environment. Okay, and I don't know when the next case study will be or what it will be, but December 10th, 2021 is, I mean, that's very far up there, at least a top 5 in consideration for the next case study. Also looks like back out here in Kansas, this isn't really doing much either. These storms all grew up scale very, very rapidly, so. We're still going to be here, though, just in case. Like I said, it only takes one storm. I mean, if you think about it, you know, you have one tornado that was memorable from most of these conditional risks. You know, the Barnsdale tornado last year, May 6th, Rolling Fork tornado. I don't believe May 21st, was it? The Greenfield tornado. I'm pretty sure there was a lot more notable tornadoes on that day. But it only takes, you know, one storm in that very volatile environment, and then the whole risk, it verifies completely different, simply because one storm is discrete and tracks through the most of the moderate. So it only takes one single cell. I think it was May 21st, the Greenfield tornado. Don't fully quote me on that because it's been almost a year. But I want to say it was. That was a day people were comparing today to as well. That was actually the #1 comparison I saw on Twitter today, was the Greenfield tornado. Trough, nothing even similar to that day, though. Literally not even remotely similar. That day was a huge, huge negatively tilted trough. Very, very potent kinematic setup with that day. I mean, that day was insane. Almost the whole state of Iowa was under a moderate risk on that day. It was moderate, Ben. Alright, its tornado warning expires in 14 minutes. You can see the little indent here. So it definitely could get some southeasterly winds and help rotate this storm. That's why they're maintaining it at a tornado warning. Southern storm now tour possible for Lake Mills, Buffalo Center, and north central Iowa. Mainly just make sure you are indoors, away from doors and windows, stay close to your safe spot. You'll be good to go. If it gets tornado warned, then you can go to your safe spot. You don't have to at the moment, since it's not tornado warned, but it is a Tor possible severe. And a Tor possible severe means that you need to be close to your safe spot and indoors, away from doors and windows. So the biggest thing we're going to watch is for discrete supercell convection in the open warm sector in central Iowa, convecting along a dry line, thanks to a cold front hitting the dry line tonight. That really shouldn't be later than 8:15, to be honest with you. If we don't see good signs of convection around 8:15, that's literally 30 minutes away, then those storms may not get going. So the screen above my face cam, that's a zoomed in view on Iowa. See those little bubblers? That is what we call a CU field. And we're watching for any of those to bubble up a little bit higher. And if that happens, then we could end up seeing an intense to violent tornado threat only if that happens. If that doesn't happen, I really don't see today producing much outside of a tornado or two, maybe a significant tornado. I don't even know if we'll hit an outbreak status if we don't see discrete storms. So we'll see what happens. Yeah, Kane, they are too high at the moment, but they're cooling off right now. By the time those storms fire, your temp should be down into the mid 70s. Especially in central Iowa. Central Iowa, it's already down to like 78, so. Tomorrow looks very meh for tornadoes. Other than, actually, hold on. Take that back. We've got Central Texas. Pennsylvania, Central Texas actually might be able to try to produce a few spin-up tornadoes. Maybe even an isolated strong tornado in Central Texas there where we have that 5% tornado risk. But in Pennsylvania looks very black for tornadoes. A very, very messy, very fast moving, just cluster of storms. Mainly damaging winds due to how fast that front's going to move through. So damaging winds, I believe, actually, pretty sure they have a significant hail risk out tomorrow. Go check that. Okay, they don't. I swear that was significant. I may be going crazy. But yeah, apparently not a significant hail risk. So 1.5, 2-inch hail, 70 to 80 mile per hour winds. The enhanced is for wind tomorrow. Highly agree with that. Very, very much agree with an enhanced for wind. And then a 2% tornado risk up there. We could see up to about 3.5, maybe even softball 4-inch hail tomorrow in central Texas, along with a few tornadoes and damaging winds up to 70, 75 miles per hour. So tomorrow in Texas is going to be the main area to watch. But we could also see 70, 80 mile per hour winds in western PA, western New York, and eastern Ohio tomorrow. Tomorrow's what, Tuesday? I got nothing going on Tuesdays. I should be able to stream tomorrow for a while. We'll probably start up our stream early tomorrow because make up for coverage today. I highly doubt we'll be able to get to 4 hours tonight. Normally we do a 4-hour coverage for moderate risks, but I wasn't home. I wasn't home to start up with everybody. Most started towards like 4 p.m. Yeah, so if we start at like 3 p.m. tomorrow or so, there's a bit of uncertainty on if there will be one squall line or two. If there is one squall line, tomorrow could actually have a notable tornado threat in western PA, northeastern Ohio. But if there's two, that's an issue, because if you get two squall lines, the first squall line takes up, 2,000 plus instability, and then your main cold front squall line is left with significantly lower ingredients. So we'll need to see if we get a bunch of overconvection or not tomorrow morning. That will be something to keep an eye on. Let me see here. What's Tuesday? So Wednesday is the next risk. Wednesday at the moment. Well, that is a very potent environment on Wednesday. Smack dab over the DFW. Does the SPC mention something? Let's see. Shortwave trough. Damaging winds will be the primary threat, but an MCS in cluster mode is possible. A mix of all hazards will be possible, as an extensive, rich, lower-level moisture plume downstream will support intensification of an MCS. So, yeah, it definitely looks like Wednesday, right over the DFW, actually might be a pretty good tornado threat. Day 3. Yeah. Keep an eye on Wednesday, right over the DFW. Need to keep an eye on if that is going to uptrend or downtrend. We'll see. Plenty of time for uptrends and downtrends. That is for sure. Yeah, but I mean, you get into the low 70s Wednesday over the DFW, so it's going to need some watching. My area might be under the gun for some damaging winds on Friday, May 2nd. So I'll keep an eye on that in my area as well. Nope, can't call this a bust yet. Not yet. If we go all the way till tomorrow morning without a tornado, yeah. If we end the day right now, say this is it, right? This is it, event's over right now, yeah, you could call this a bust. But all it takes is for one of those storms to get going in central Iowa like the HRRR was projecting, and we could definitely see an intense tornado threat tonight. Northwest Kansas? I don't think so. We got a special weather statement out for damaging winds. Partially maybe a dust storm? Doesn't have much dust with it, but definitely like a boundary of some sort. Cold front. It's your cold front. So you're going to have, it depends on where you are. If you're in like Norton and northwestern Kansas, yeah, you could get 50-mile-an-hour winds non-associated with thunderstorms. Very windy boundary. Is that little area starting up? Might be. Keep an eye on that. It's just a little notch right now. Yeah, that's going to be an issue. My allergies are going to go crazy. Excuse me. Outside almost all day yesterday, other than driving. Yeah, the HRRR has a potential strong tornado threat in southwest Oklahoma here in 4 minutes. in 4 minutes. Literally 4 minutes.
Tornado warning for Central Dickinson County in central Kansas, Dickinson
Oh, that's
County in
back
Kansas.
here. Well, looky there. Actually got a new tornado warning for a decent area of rotation south of Enterprise in somewhere in Kansas. East central Kansas. Yeah, the HRRR still has a strong to intense tornado threat in northeastern Iowa here in 2 hours. Those storms initiate. It says they're initiating now, and I mean, one quick look at the radar in central Iowa, and there's no storms to be seen. We'll keep watching, though. Want to see if I can get a clearer view here. Yeah, so it's these bubblers right in here that we need to keep an eye on. Not many wind shear down there. Not many. Not much wind shear down there in Oklahoma. Very, very far from the main amplified trough. Yeah, still a little area of rotation south of Enterprise in east central Kansas. I really don't think it's going to be able to maintain. It's just the lower level wind shear out here is garbage. Further to the southwest, I think it's like 50. Yeah, it's like 50 out here. Whereas with this leading storm, it's at 150, which isn't that bad. That leading supercell is a bit better wind shear. They took the 10 hatch away in Oklahoma because of left splitting supercells. So if I go show you down here, this storm, for instance, it formed and then see how it split? That is a splitting supercell. So what that means is that this storm is going to go off and really just become a hail threat, wind threat, and the tornado threat with it should be nearly zero. Left split supercells have a very low tornado threat. Occasionally we see them rotate, but it's quite uncommon to see a left split rotate. Normally they're hailers. And then this storm, it's just not maintaining its updraft here in southwestern Oklahoma, so. We actually might have been tornado warning list there for a second. Nope. Right when we lost this one was issued. We almost went tornado warning list there in a moderate risk area. That's crazy. Actually, technically we are. If you look in the moderate risk, we don't have, no tornado warnings in the entire moderate or enhanced risk area. We have a tornado warning way down here in the slight risk. Which is in the it's right on the 5%. It's right at the edge. Look at that. Partially in the 2%, but mainly in the 5% risk. Honestly, I'm really with you on that. I really don't think today's going to do anything. But like I said, I mean, we've learned our lesson before. Literally, all it takes is a single storm to get going in a very potent environment like southwestern Iowa at the moment, central Iowa. And then it could try to produce a strong tornado. Like this whole area in Iowa, this whole area is just a fully untouched area of a volatile environment capable of a strong tornado. The only thing that's really stopping it is a little bit too high of temperatures and the fact that there's no storms in the area. No discrete storms taking up the environment. That's very favorable. So we'll just monitor it See what happens. See if anything gets going here over the next hour. It is going to run out of time, though. It's going to run out of time. So if it doesn't really get going by, I'd say 9:30 Eastern, an hour, hour and a half from now, then it's probably not going to go. I think it's a dry air and the fact that there's not much forcing here that's limiting storms over central Iowa. Might have to keep an eye on these storms here and very far southwest Iowa. I don't know about that one because the HRRR doesn't have it being there. It doesn't have it being present. But that might be one to keep an eye on. Your peak environment is at 10 p.m. Eastern time tonight. That's your peak environment. Right at 10 p.m. And then at midnight, everything falls off very, very rapidly. Could be some isolated damaging winds back in northwest Missouri towards midnight, but really at midnight, there's not going to be a lot out there. Everything in Oklahoma and Texas dies off towards 11. It's about 3 hours. Honestly, Ben, I think they should have downgraded at the update yesterday morning. I honestly do believe it. Because yesterday mornings when we started to get a lot more data and it looked like, nothing's probably going to fire in that open warm sector, so. I mean, we don't even have a tornado warning in our moderate. And that's insane. Yeah, you're right, Caden. Watch them not, though. I bet they will keep the moderate here at the next update. Just because that's what they seem to always do that. They seem to maintain the whatever highest risk they have. Even if it's a small little sliver of it. There's only like one storm in the area. I've seen them maintain it. Let's see here. Okay. Well, Ben, May 6th, 2024, 30 significant tornado risk, conditional. It all came down to if a single storm or two fired in the open warm sector, and nothing happened. Same goes for today. At least for the moment, we still have time. I want to stress that. We still have time for a single supercell to fire in central Iowa over the next 2 hours. It's just not looking very likely. Welcome, Proxima. Glad to see you in here. EF4 member for 15 months now. Saying hi, TRG and fam. Everyone in the path of today's heavy weather, please stay safe. I appreciate that, Proxy, and welcome back to the stream. Haven't seen you in a little while. Glad to see you back in here. And thank you for being a member for 15 months now. That is crazy. I believe Proxy and Legacy are our like two first members. Two earliest members. That is crazy. 15 months. Let me go back over here real quick. Now I want to check. I want to go check here. So, yeah, like I said, we'll just keep monitoring these storms best we can. They're not really doing a whole lot, so I'm not really concerned about many of them. Just make sure you're in your safe spot if you're in that tornado warning here in Kansas. I mean, it fell apart. You still want to be in your safe spot if you're in that tornado warning, but just know that the storm itself has fully fallen apart and almost moved out of your area at this point. So stay in your safe spot, but you should be good to go here shortly. You should be good to go. That's what I'm thinking, Grumpy Grandpa. That's what I'm thinking. Literally just one discrete storm that fires in central Iowa and goes crazy. Because that's all it takes. Literally just takes one. Look at this. Pretty much your, like half your cold front here is currently special weather statemented for damaging winds. Still see zero signs of initiation there over the CU field in western Iowa. There's a CU field, which means thunderstorms have a chance to fire, but will they? Nah, probably not, to be honest with you. It's looking less and less likely. I believe the HRR is the only one that fires storms out of the CU field. I checked the NAM3K. It definitely did not have a single storm. I think it had one in northern Iowa, if I'm not mistaken. And northern Iowa at like 11 tonight. But the NAM3K has been handling today's event quite poorly. This model run I'm looking at right now, experimental model run, that fired a storm in central Iowa at 00Z, but yeah, that definitely did not happen. Not very confident in it. We'll just see if anything happens. You never know. RRFSA is giving me supercells on Thursday for literally no reason. I mean, like, literally no reason. Like, what, I'm gonna have 200 cape on that day? Sure. I don't even know if Wofus is running. We are tornado warning lists on a level 4 out of 5 day. Look at that. We are tornado warning lists. That is awesome. Not a single tornado warning in the entire US at the moment. Okay, here's Wofus. Let me see if it's running today. It is running today. It is running today. None of them. Out of all 18 members, not a single one initiates in central Iowa. There is a few that have this cluster being an issue here. Okay, so it's 020Z. Okay, so this one's wrong. Wrong. They're all wrong on the placement of the storm, so none of them are very accurate. I don't think this is going to do anything. It's really just the Like, literally, the HRRR is the only run that is initiating these cells. So if it does initiate, this is going to be a huge win for the HRRR model run. If it doesn't initiate, well, interesting. This just might be a huge win for the HRRR. Initiation, Central Iowa, West Central Iowa. Now, does it survive? We will have to see. And now we're at a tornado warning.
Tornado warning for northwestern Aitkin County
Yo,
in
way
east
up
central
here.
Minnesota, northeastern Crow Wing County in east central Minnesota, Aitkin and Crow Wing County in Minnesota.
Way up here. Tornado warning all the way up here into north central Minnesota there. Yes, I did. None of them initiated storms over central Iowa, so this just might be a big win for the HRRR. If that storm can maintain. The HRRR has it maintaining and becoming messy at 09Z, but by 10 o'clock tonight, has it becoming a full-blown supercell. We'll see. So, new tornado warning just issued up here all the way north of Crosby, north central Minnesota for that little area rotation. Looks like it's died out now, but I wouldn't be shocked if that was very close to or possibly even did produce a tornado just to the southwest of Mission in north central Minnesota. Now all eyes are going to be on this little guy over Manning in central Iowa, as that has initiated. But can it maintain? That's the question. Can it maintain, or is it just going to flop and die right out? But I mean, that would definitely be the cell to do it. Going right towards Fort Dodge, Webster City. In the very long run. That's where it's going to head. It's like we got another one back here. Look at that. Another one right here. That's going to go to the northwest of Des Moines. So a few little storms to keep an eye on that are going to be moving to the northeast. The HRRR has this one becoming an issue towards 10 o'clock. So we'll see. Risk is definitely not over. It's not over till it's over. So we'll see if towards 10 p.m. Eastern, an hour and 45 minutes away, if anything's happening. Let's see here. They do fail often, Ben. They do. New MCD out here for Seymour, Stanford, Abilene in Texas. Let me find that for you. Any, many, mighty, mo. There we go. Alright, supercells will continue to pose the risk for a very large hail with an increase in a tornado risk towards this evening. About 70 mile per hour winds, tornado or two, and up to 4.25 inch hail will all be possible. Could have a conditional strong tornado threat out of these storms, but personally, I doubt it. Lower level jet is good for all hazards of severe storms. Tornadoes, hail, and wind. Let's see. So we're going to continue to monitor those tiny little cells. Wouldn't be shocked if none of them survive. But they are right on that dry line, so they've got a good chance. I got to figure out exactly which one. Yeah, this one has a good chance, but mainly this first one we saw a fire over Manning. That one has a really good chance because it's going to move into a very, very favorable environment. Yeah, your temperatures are a little bit high though out here. We'll see. It may be all the way till 10 o'clock tonight before these try to do anything. Once those temperatures start to lower out a bit, start to cool off. Let's see here. I don't think there's a cap, no. There's a weak cap where they are right now, but where they're heading, there shouldn't be much of an issue. The biggest issue with these storms are just simply if they can really get going and actually firing. Becoming well-sustained updrafts or not. There's a very nice pocket of dry air towards 650 millibars. That could really help increase thunderstorm activity. I don't think it will do anything crazy even with these storms firing. But I mean, 10 o'clock. We'll just have to see. We could get a few supercells that try to maintain. So I would keep an eye on all these three areas here. This one, especially this one. This one here and this one here. Those three storms. But this is the one I'm most concerned for because it's in a very favorable environment. Like I said, once temperatures begin to decrease here over the next hour, 2 hours, should begin to see an uptick in activity. It looks like our storm in southwestern Oklahoma just... Yeah. Definitely didn't do much at all, so... Since that updraft didn't maintain, I don't think that tornado threat is going to verify out here in Oklahoma. So good call to remove that 10 sig tor. Good call to remove the 10 sig tor out here in western Oklahoma. Unless something changes, I don't think they're going to be able to maintain. HRRR wants everything to pop off at 10. Don't know why, but it has everything popping off at 10. Like, it has a random line of semi-discrete cells that try to fire out here at 10 Eastern, an hour, 40 minutes. It has these storms here, southeastern Nebraska, northeast Kansas, trying to produce tornadoes at 10. It has those discrete storms in central Iowa firing up and trying to produce tornadoes at 10. So, like, everything is at 10 for some reason. They won't upgrade to high risk. That's for sure. Let's see here. Yeah. So just 10 o'clock Eastern. Apparently everything's going to pop off tornadic wise. Zero ZH Triple R comes in here in like 30 minutes, so we'll see what that says. Helicity tracks. Yeah, we might be able to see some damaging winds out of them. I saw people sharing that on Twitter earlier, I think this morning. Just the updraft helicity tracks being like, yeah, today's probably going to go high risk. I actually saw like at least 2 people that I follow say this could go high risk. I'm not fully sold on these little tiny storms becoming full-blown supercells. I'm not sold on it. I feel like it's going to just disappear on the next stage triple R. It's Jover. Like I said, it's not Jover till it's Jover. Not fully. But I mean, all these storms there. Normal, 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 severe, normal, severe, normal, severe, normal, severe, normal, severe. Still have that tornado warning for an area that's rotation died out like 10 minutes ago. Excuse me again, these allergies, man. I'm telling you. It's crazy though, because I don't think I sneezed but like once today. And then now that I've started stream, it's like 5. Crazy. It's like I'm allergic to streaming. Yeah, this storm here going towards Shannon in east central Kansas, northeast Kansas, I should say. That's really our only significant severe outside of Texas. Oh, shoot. Is that our only sig severe? Well, I'll be. I believe that's our only significant severe. Those 2 in Kansas. Yep. So we only have 2 significant severes. We started with like 8. When we started our stream an hour ago, there was like 8 sig severes. Had 11 violent tornadoes. 4 EF5s and the rest EF4s. So 7 EF4s. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, today is performing like a slight, but I mean, some days that happens. Some days you get busts. And then other days you get days like March 14th this year that just go ridiculously well over the threshold of a moderate risk. Some days just simply underperform. Let's see here. Keep an eye on this storm up here. 1.5 inch hail, mainly a hailer. Just a heads up there. That's going along Road 9 east of Little Rock in northwestern Iowa. High probabilities is high confidence, not higher ceiling. What? That's not entirely true. What do you mean? There's a certain ceiling that has to be reached for a risk. They ain't gonna put a 30 sig Tor over a single storm that's in a terrible environment that might be able to produce a single tornado. That makes no sense. If they have a 30 sig Tor, that's high confidence and strong tornadoes. So yeah, it does mean high ceiling too. The 2%, a 2% tornado risk doesn't have the same ceiling as like a 60 sig. It's completely different. I want to see if this downtrended on. I can't tell. Doesn't go out far enough. We'll have to wait till 00Z. Still at 19 severes. Plenty of severe storms. Let's go back over here. I'm not impressed by any of these. I'm trying to look for any of them that might. These actually don't look that bad. Northeastern Wisconsin going up into the, shoot. This is part of Michigan. I forgot what you call it, though. I know this is the oven mitt of Michigan down here. But few little areas of very broad, very weak rotation. Oh, I see. I see, Grandpa. I thought you were just meaning in, like, overall, Grumpy Grandpa. I thought you were just meaning overall that, like, higher probability doesn't mean a higher ceiling. I was very confused. Like, that's really exactly what it means. It means higher confidence in a higher ceiling event. Like today, there was a 15 sig Tor. This performed very poorly. I mean, this is almost the definition of a bust. Like, if we don't see a discrete cell really get going, this is like nearly the definition of a bust. Like, literally in pretty much eastern Kansas has gotten almost more action than our moderate risk. I don't see those towers much on satellite, so that makes me think they aren't really becoming robust at all. Oh, well, we are getting the red DBZ on this one. We'll see. They may have fired too late. You never know. If they fired a little bit too late, there may be a capping starting to build in now. We'll find out sooner than later. The peeps on that day. Man, Ben, I wouldn't even be able to talk. I would not even be able to talk. You thought April 2nd was bad or March 14th was bad. Imagine April 27th, 2011. Each tornado warning is a beep and then it automates the counties. It would be like an AFK stream pretty much. It really would, because there would be so many warnings. I'd just be sitting here going to each warning as it comes in. It'd just be consistent. Let's see here. You guys think these little storms are going to do anything? Over the course of an hour and a half, they're supposed to go from tiny little storms to full-blown supercells. Going to the HRRR. And those southern ones are starting to get overshadowed by anvil cloud from the storms to the south-southwest. Nope, no confidence at all. No confidence in the storms doing anything, huh? I really want to agree with you on that, to be honest. I don't think they're going to do anything, but I wouldn't fully write them off just yet. New tornado watch. Believe it or not, we just got a new tornado watch. I know. Seems a little weird considering how inactive it is, but we did get a new watch. Probably low probed. Shockingly not. Shockingly a 60-40 for tornadoes, but yeah, there you go. New tornado watch just issued here in portions of Wisconsin. So new tornado watch just issued there. Main hazard by a milestone is definitely wind, followed by spin-up tornado or two, possibly a strong spin-up, as well as hail. All hazards being a problem there. Your hail threat and your tornado threat really should stay with these few storms here. And then your wind threat and spin-up tornado threat will be back here. I don't think any of these are going to pose much of a hail threat, considering they're a full-blown line. At the moment, today is a bust, but today isn't over. Today is not fully over. I'm leaning towards it being a bust, though. I don't really know what could make this not bust. Like, we would literally, all three of these storms would have to explode over the next hour. And I just don't think I don't think that's going to happen, honestly. I don't see it happening. Looking for anything that could give me a heads up here or a hint towards these storms firing up. Also got to remember your cape is now going down too. Losing instability. Norman, you're good to go to sleep. Don't stay up for this. I mean, you want to keep a weather radio on? Yeah, definitely keep a weather radio on, but man, really the worst case scenario is you get a bit of rain at midnight. I just wouldn't stay up for it if I'm in Norman. Hopefully all you get is a little bit of rain or maybe nothing. I mean, really, like, no model run shows you getting anything other than rain. Like, nothing shows tornadoes in Norman or anything like that. Yeah, this model keeps it south. This one keeps it south. This one, everything dies off before it hits Norman. Yep, this one kills everything off before it hits Norman. And this one keeps everything south. So if something does happen in Norman, just know it was A very rare occasion there. Because, like, nothing shows storms other than light rain in Norman. Let's see here. Stay up till 9. I mean, these storms, they're way down here, southwest Oklahoma. If I show you the newest simulated radar here. So you see those, they go, these are them right here. They go off towards Norman. By the time they hit Norman, they're just moderate rain showers there, according to this model run. Even at this point here, off to your southwest, these would pose a low tornado threat, mainly small hail damaging winds. I really would too. If I was chasing, I would just go home. Oh, wow. Random unwarned strong tornado on the ground here. Unwarned strong tornado ongoing to the southeast of Rock Falls in western Wisconsin. This is now an observed tornado warning. There you go. Great job on the NWS getting right on top of that as soon as possible. We're going to go there within a radar sight right now. Here comes the beep.
Tornado warning for Eau Claire County in west central Wisconsin, Eau Claire County in Wisconsin.
Yep, so that lofted debris about 5,000 feet up. And that's going to be 112? Yes, 112 gate-to-gate rotation there. So, just a random strong tornado out of nowhere. That was unwarned there. Happened very, very quickly, too. Hopefully this was just trees. It looks mostly like trees. Hopefully it was just trees and no homes. What did I say? 112 miles per hour. Knots. You're looking at about 97 knots. 97. Not that. 49. Give me just a second. Yeah, so that's a tornado ongoing still. It's going up towards Fall Creek, Foster, Augusta, in west central Wisconsin. Looks like that is probably debris fallout now. So you can see there's actually quite a good chunk of debris falling out here. Quite a good chunk of debris there. Like I said, hopefully that is just trees and nothing else. Trying to find something here, but I can't find it. There we go. I was trying to find the VROT chart. Couldn't get to it. Yeah, so VROT of 55 or greater is a strong tornado. I believe. See. So that would put this like barely below a strong tornado according to radar. Barely below. I'm trying to check something else here real quick. So we'll continue to watch this storm here. Currently a confirmed tornado warning in, what is this? West central Wisconsin. West central Wisconsin there. I do believe it is lifted at this point, so that is good news, but still be in your safe spot. And Foster, Brackett, in West central Wisconsin. Could definitely end up touching back down here shortly. So make sure you're staying in your safe spot. Mute this here real quick. Oops. Didn't hit the mute button. Just in case this plays desktop audio. Yeah, see, this still could try to touch down again at any moment here. So still want to be in your safe spot if you're in Foster, West central Wisconsin. Still want to be in your safe spot. So we're watching that area of rotation. It did just produce a tornado. It's probably recycling here. So just remain in your safe spot if you're in this tornado warning. I do want to go check the one in Minnesota real quick. Just briefly. Yeah, that's falling apart. Still be in your safe spot there. Quick check on our storms in Iowa. Yeah. There's plenty of them now. There's a lot of them. But are any of them actually going to get going? That's the question. I don't think so. The reason why is because they don't seem very well planted updrafts at the moment. This one here is getting there, though. That one's getting there near Elkhorn in west central Iowa. So if you're just tuning in, we had a unwarned strong tornado. Right when we went to it, they ended up warning it. That was going up towards Brackett in west central Wisconsin. It is now a confirmed tornado warning. But I do believe the tornado has lifted. Could easily touch back down. Also, another area starting to the south of that here. You can see that new green threshold icon there. Little area of rotation starting up. See the next scan here. No CC anywhere on that next scan. Wait for the velocity here in about 15 seconds for that new velocity. scan. Also, both of these are very, very rain wrapped, so you're not going to be able to see them. You're not going to be able to see a tornado if you're out in front of either one of these storms. Yep, that's your... I believe that's your newest velocity scan. It is. Still two areas of good rotation. Both of them could definitely try to put down a tornado. Man. And this is inside your squall line here. I got confused for a second because almost none of this is severe. It's only the northern end and the very, very far southern end. So for a second, I thought I had my warnings disabled or something. But nope. They just only have two severes in our moderate risk area up there. Now, like, almost all of our significant severes are out here in southwest Oklahoma. So keeping an eye on both of these areas. Very easily could spin up two tornadoes here at any point. No debris signature, no obvious CC. The warning that originally, or the tornado that originally warranted this warning, you can see that CC was back here. Very, very dark blue CC there, breaking correlation coefficient. So very, very obvious, strong tornado. With how far we're looking, that means debris was lofted about 5,000 feet up into the atmosphere. And you can see there's a no dark blue CC here. Doesn't mean there's not a tornado, though. A tornado could very, very easily be weak enough and just not be lofting debris high enough in the atmosphere for radar to detect it. So that's why we say a tornado warning means a tornado is imminent or possibly even on the ground. This one is still observed for that previous tornado. Let's see here. Go back to our analysis radar real quick. Looks like both of these broke up, so hopefully that stays the case. Gracious day, it's already 8:50. Had to do a second take on that. Yeah, I don't know how much longer we're going to be live for. Like I said, I don't really want to be live for 4 hours here after that long day today. I'll still keep watching these updrafts here, but they're not really going, to be honest with you. They're just rain. One strong tornado doesn't really justify a whole 15 sig, to be honest with you. I don't think you can call it a full bust anymore now. But it's still a severe underperformance. Yeah, see, when a mature updraft dies like that, that's a sign that something's going wrong with the environment, too. A mature supercell in a volatile environment doesn't just poof like that. Most likely, that's a lack of much higher dew points and too high of temperatures. You're at low 60 dew points and like low 80 temps. Yeah. I'd say today's a very severe underperformance. Big time underperformance. Still could get a tornado out of this over the I-94 corridor. Going into Augusta in west central Wisconsin. I do want to mention that, though, really quick. Once again, good job on the National Weather Service out here for warning a storm that fast. National Weather Service in Twin Cities, Minnesota, warned that storm quite quickly once they saw that CC drop. So there was the first main scan. That's when you really could see it. And then another scan, and then boom, it was warned. So they did pretty good job. About 4 minutes. Took them to warn about 4 minutes. And that's, that's normal. When you first see a debris signature, it's going to take about 4 minutes for somebody to issue a warning. If not a little longer. They did really good getting that out very fast. There's a process to issuing warnings. It's not like you could just click a button and it instantly warns. There's a process to it. It's still an observed warning. They have continued an observed warning here, so they believe a tornado is still on the ground. Which it wouldn't shock me if there is a tornado possibly back on the ground here. What is this, I-94? I believe I said. Yeah, I-94. So we'll keep watching that area of rotation. I want to go back to radar on this software so we can wait for that velocity scan. It's faster over here. It's kind of 50-50 though. Sometimes it's faster on radar Omega, other times it's faster here. I do want to see. To me, it looks like relatively just trees. I'm worried for where it first touched down, because where it first touched down looked to be very close to a road. Possibly some homes somewhere generally in here. And then once it went more to the east, it looks like it's just fully forested area. Actually, you know what? We could check much easier back here. Take this, pull it all the way back to that debris signature right here. Yeah, I see no homes. About when it first touched down. That's when it first touched down. Yep. See, there's some homes there. Excuse me again. I apologize. Allergies, man. That's what I'm worried for. So hopefully it missed those homes. That's right where the debris signature is. Now remember, a debris signature doesn't correlate to the size of a tornado exactly. So hopefully this was a very small tornado that went south of these homes. And then the next scan there, you see fields, 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 fields. More homes, more homes. So there's definitely a few homes that it could have hit here. Because this is right along some roads, so there's actually quite a few homes. And then it lifted, so hopefully everybody's all right out of that. There was definitely a few homes. Surprisingly not, Legacy. Surprisingly not. Just simply have crazy allergies. Now my throat's starting to act up. Let's just, fingers crossed, hope that it's allergies and not a sickness, because there's a very good chance I could have caught something at Talladega. Would not surprise me one bit. Should get a new outlook from the SPC here. Uh-oh. You know what, Caleb? Now that you pointed that out, I'm going to keep it like that for the rest of the stream. I saw it. I saw it when I switched to Streamlabs. I saw it. I'm going to keep it like that for the rest of the stream now. Make you suffer. Let me see the... Can I get the MCD, please? Hello? Short-term severe corridor. The primary concern will be with these ongoing supercells. Let's see here. This activity should spread northeast over northwestern Missouri in the next several hours. Mainly, they really stress the southern side of this line. The southern side. So we'll keep an eye on the southern end here for long-lived supercell threats. Oop, back down here, actually. There we go. Yeah, good news is I don't even see this rotating, and it's by itself, so that's really good. Alright, see you later, Caleb. Honestly, I probably won't be live too much longer. I know it's a moderate risk, but I need to get some sleep. If this looked like it was going to be a crazy day, crazy night, I'd stay up for it, but honestly, it doesn't look that bad, thankfully. I'm just hoping this little scratchiness ain't going to be a virus tomorrow. Let's see. New HRRR should be coming in here. Yep, shows everything out in Texas and Oklahoma dying out here in an hour. I don't think that's going to happen. Considering how robust those storms are, I don't think they're just going to die out in an hour. And then it shows a cluster of storms over central Iowa, but they never really get going. So, main two areas I would keep an eye on is southwest Oklahoma. Mainly hail, isolated tornado, 70-mile-an-hour winds. And then back up here, 60, 65-mile-an-hour winds, and then up to 2-inch hail as well. Also a brief tornado. But I don't think Central Iowa's going to do anything. I doubt it. So, we're going to wait for this SPC outlook. Fingers crossed it ain't too late. I won't be here for another 2 hours, Catman. Honestly, my throat's starting to kill me. Like I said, if it was a big threat, I would just push through it. But I'm not going to do that when I did that for 11 hours earlier today. $11-hour drive. I don't know if anybody's anyone in the chat's ever gone that far before. I'm sure most of you have, but it's rough. And for somebody who's never been further than about 3.5 hours away from home, 11 hours, yikes. Yikes. Still an observed tornado warning. Little weird on why they've kept that. You know what? What is that? Hold on. Radar confirmed 5 miles north of Augusta. So they say 5 miles north of Augusta. That is... Get out the way. That is right here. But I just saw a suspicious CC and I want to go check it. Not saying it was a tornado. I just want to go check it. iffy. I'm thinking that actually was a tornado. It doesn't line up perfectly with radar, but it does go up with height. I'm thinking that was a tornado there. Might have had a brief spin up in this observed warning, but that's not why it's confirmed. They confirmed a tornado 5 miles north of Augusta, which that would be associated with like this area of broad rotation, not this area. So might have had another spin up tornado there. Wouldn't shock me. If we did, that was probably a pretty strong tornado as well. And these are getting pretty good updrafts, I'm not going to lie. Just got to hope that that those temperatures stay high.
Warning for southeastern Chippewa
yep.
County in west central Wisconsin, eastern Eau Claire County in west
Good
central
idea there.
Wisconsin, Chippewa and Eau Claire County in Wisconsin.
Yeah, good idea to issue that new warning. Yeah, just got to hope those temperatures stay high. As long as those temperatures stay into the low 80s, these storms are just going to stay elevated and not really become mature. All right, am I off on my timing? Is the SPC Outlook not supposed to be out at 9? Something changed here. Nope. 01Z is definitely the new SPC Outlook. They are 3 minutes late. You know what that means? 45 Sig Tor right now. No, last time they were late, they actually dropped the main risk area. What are temps? They should still be... They should still be up there. They're going down, though, because it's starting to get dark out there. Let me find it. Let's see. There we go. You're looking at 81 and 64. So 81 temperature, 64 dew points out here where these storms are. I did, Catman. I did. Sure did. Waiting on that SPC outlook. We should see a big chunk cut off. They won't cut off the whole west side of it because there's still the cold front left. So, like, they're only going to chomp off a part of this side. I don't think they'll get rid of much. What they should chomp off is that moderate. That moderate risk should fully disappear, in my opinion. There's really no need for a moderate anymore. So, just keep an eye on these updrafts here. I'll monitor them. If they look ridiculous, I'll come back on.
Tornado warning for northwestern Clark County in central Wisconsin, Clark County in Wisconsin.
Same storm there. So we're going to go back to radar indicated here in 9 minutes. But they've left that. They just extended that for another 39 minutes. So long radar indicated warning there. Waiting for this SPC outlook, y'all. I want to check the... Not short wave. There we go, long wave. I see that southern storm. Is that the tallest one? Yeah, this one down here. Which is the tallest? 34,000. Excuse me again. I'm doomed. I'm cooked. These allergies, man. Why did they start up right when I started stream? It's crazy. I don't see where you see, yeah, these are at 32,000, 32 to 34. You said Oklahoma? Jeez, those are tall. Very tall storms out in Oklahoma. Really tall. Jeez. I'll be fine in the morning. As long as it's not a virus. I can deal with some allergies. Just please, no virus. Sick of being sick. Yeah, those storms like 53,000 feet up. That was southwest Oklahoma. They're really going crazy down there. Probably mainly hail, I would imagine. Ew, look at them all. They're ew. They've all clustered up. All clustered now. No wonder why they just issued that big severe. I swear we had a 45 sig tour in 2021. I don't think we had one 6 years ago, Ben. 2021 was not 6 years ago. No, we had one in 2021. I swear. I swear we did, because I legit tracked it. Thunderstorm events. Oh, slow SPC site right now. 2021. 17th, maybe? That says high risk. Waiting, waiting, waiting. Lord have mercy. Please load. Yikes. Oh my goodness. This is crazy. SPC, come on. We're still dealing with slow sites, are we? Okay, almost there, almost there. I see the reports. I know this went 45 sig. I remember this risk. I remember it. Any day. Still waiting. Normally this 10 seconds. Normally 10 seconds. Oh, loaded. Now I gotta wait for this part to load. Oh, there you go. 45 sig tour 2021. There you go. Yep. It did go 45 sig. Just proof that Catman was wrong. Rare occasion Catman is wrong. 45 sig tour. You see the 45 sig. Look at the date. March 17th, 2021. Catman was wrong. Okay, this day one's updated by now. This thing's just slow. It's already come out. This says it's a secondary observed warning. Oh, yep, it's back on the ground. Oh, yeah, you bet it is. Third tornado out of this thing. Look at that. Trying to get a tornado outbreak out of one storm. That's the third strong tornado this thing has dropped. Third one. Three strong tornadoes out of this QLCS spin-up area. Man, did the SPC just forget to update, or are they down? Nope, this is in Wisconsin. It's in Wisconsin. Gracious, I'm starting to think they just forgot to update. 12 minutes late, like, really? Still ain't out. Whoa! Zooming in all the way to that radar site. Just went straight view with the radar sight. So there's your 3 main updrafts in western Iowa. I don't think any of them are going to hold, but who knows? Maybe they will. So we'll watch those. Down to 2 observed tornado warnings for the same storm. Tornado still ongoing there, east of Augusta in west central Wisconsin. Likely a strong tornado there as well. The reason why I'm saying strong is because all these, I mean, if we go all the way back to the first one, this lofted debris about 5,000 feet up. This second one, a little bit more iffy, but probably about 8,000 feet up. And then this newest one, that one also about 9,000 feet up. So we've had like 3 strong tornadoes here, and then we could even get another one out of the southern edge here. So we'll keep an eye on that as well. Well, we've missed our window to win. What? Our window to end. What did I just say? I have no idea what I said right there. Our window to end. SPC still hasn't updated. We'll see. Let me go back here. Oklahoma dry line? What? What? I see a little storm in south central Kansas. That was called a stroke. Nah. It's called a brain fart, buddy. That's what we call it here in Virginia. We call it a brain fart. Oh, finally! Wow. Moderate risk my foot. Told you they keep it. It's just what they do. Yep. Big old sig risk there. There's a 15 sig tour. That's just what they do. They really just keep it. Even if the risk is full-blown busting, they just keep it. Alright, so I'll be able to read their text now. Yeah, 9 o'clock. Some strong tornado potential. We kept a moderate risk, 15 significant for some strong tornado potential. Wow. There remains the potential for a couple of supercells to develop and pose a threat for all hazards, including a conditional strong tornado. Otherwise, the ongoing cluster will continue to pose a threat for damaging winds, hail, and embedded tornadoes as it moves eastward through the evening. Let's see. Further west, a couple supercells have been noted that may continue to intensify along the cold front this evening along western Iowa before weakening later on tonight. And those are the ones that have the conditional tornado threat. Conditional strong tornado threat. Moderate risk, sure, buddy. Let me go back over here. Trying to see where they say that. Some strong tornado potential. Yeah, Ben, I mean, I think a 10 sig tour would have been fine to keep because, yeah, because of the conditional strong tornado threat. You know, a 10 sig tour over like, yeah, this area here. 10 sig tour over like this region. Just in case any of those discrete storms get going or anything along this QLCS gets going. Did just see we got a destructive severe. So PDS severe thunderstorm warning for 2.75 inch hail. Out here for Lone Wolf. That's a cell splitter right there. Left split supercell. Left split supercell. Let me go back over to... Yeah. I mean, they kept it for a 15 sig tour, and then look at the big 10 sig tour all around that, too. They kept the... pretty much the whole east side of the risk. Some strong tornado potential is what we have tonight. We do have to watch out for any of those cells in western Iowa potentially maintaining, but I doubt it. They look messy, sloppy, clustery. They're in an elevated environment. I don't see it. So we'll keep watching that little area rotation going towards Greenwood, but Indiana, we saw one cell. This one cell on the northern side of a QLCS produced 3 strong tornadoes in like the last 20 minutes. But outside of that, it is a full bust. So this little area right here performed. Outside of that, I mean, it's a full-blown bust. We're still gonna have to keep an eye on those ones in central Iowa because they're in a good environment, other than the temperatures being very high. But we'll see. Like I said, though, I ain't gonna stay on much longer. Let's see. So we'll see. See how the rest of the night plays out. I'll check it on my phone every now and then. But mainly it's just... damaging winds, and especially in Oklahoma, very large hail. Storm mode was like everything in Indiana. Storm mode was like everything. We also had some dry air entrainment from dust back from New Mexico. Rode the jet stream up here to Iowa. Don't know if that was a play in it, but we had it. I haven't really done a big deep dive into what else could have been the issue. I know there was also some spots where the wind shear didn't overlap with your instability and where your storms were, so that also could have been it. Could have been a few different things. But you could see your moderate risk was for this main line here. Because that's, they've chomped that moderate risk off. And they've only left the moderate for where that line is going to keep on going to the east and keep going like this. Well, chasers traveled, they've spent literally thousands getting to this risk, and it doesn't do really anything, to be honest. Nothing like what the SPC was forecasting. So the SPC, obviously everybody here is glad that nothing happened. That's a really, really good thing. But chasers, they've spent thousands to go and chase these storms to try and capture tornadoes. And believe me when I say this, no chaser is going to want a tornado in a populated area. But unfortunately, Mother Nature doesn't only put tornadoes in open fields. Puts tornadoes wherever it wants. So yeah, chasers get quite upset. I mean, shoot, you would be upset too if you spent $1,000 to, or even more than that, $1,000 in a few days to go all the way up into Minnesota and nothing happens. But then again, like I said, it's awesome because obviously nobody's hurt by them. We didn't have any long-tracked, violent, or intense tornadoes like what we've seen on other moderate days, so that's awesome. No strong tornadoes that are long-tracked. Like I said, we did see three strong tornadoes from this storm generally out in this area, but it looked like they were relatively short-lived. Generally about less than 10 minutes, relatively short-lived. And it looked like they stayed in relatively rural areas. Unfortunately, I do think a few homes could have been hit. Hopefully those people are okay. I haven't heard anything of damage right now, so it's very, very early. Very, very early in this event. The area I'm most worried for is probably right in here because we saw those few homes and it was unwarned. So, nobody's seeking shelter because there's no tornado warning, no warning in place other than a severe warning. And when you see a severe warning pop up on your phone, you're going to do one of two things. Run inside or look out the window. You should run inside. These allergies, holy moly. So if you are in a severe, make sure you're indoors away from doors and windows. But I'm looking out the window. You should not do that, though. Don't look out the window. See you later, severe weather alert. We're going to end here soon anyways. Warning goes for 20 more minutes. It's our last tornado warning. And we're down to 10 severe warnings as well, so that's really, really cool. We're not up to like 2025 anymore. I just said the year. Yeah, we got up to like between 20 to 25 severe warnings here. We're down to 10. It really is a bust. Outside of that one storm, it's not a bust. Or it is a bust. It is a bust outside of that one storm. See, that's where it's hard to draw the fine line. That's always been a touchy subject in the weather community. Between when people, like here, we're like, yes, it busted, let's go. That's awesome. But chasers, Chasers, they want to see tornadoes, but it's always a fine line between chasers and wanting and not wanting tornadoes. Because like I said, you travel so far and you see nothing. You know, that's upsetting.
Tornado warning for northeastern Clark County in central Wisconsin, Clark County in Wisconsin.
New radar indicated warning there. It's always been something that's a touchy subject, but personally for me, I'm not one who wants tornadoes. No, I want to see a tornado in an open field, but not anywhere near homes. I hope I will never see that once in my life. I never want to see a tornado anywhere near population. But alright, we're going to end. Still one storm being tornado warned, but I'm going to go ahead and conclude. I'll be back probably tomorrow. I don't think I'll be back tonight. It doesn't seem like much is going to happen. I'm going to head off, get some well-needed rest. So we'll be back here tomorrow. I appreciate Mods from Mod Chat. Everybody for tuning in. I know a lot of people are live, so I really, really appreciate everybody for tuning in here. It means a lot that I have at least, some people watching. Like I said, to me, though, even if nobody tuned in, I'm still going to go live because this is what I would love to do. And, yeah, whether or not I'm live on YouTube, I'm always watching the weather. I'm always watching the weather. So I appreciate you guys for supporting me today. And over the last few months, very, very overwhelming support. We're over 9,000 subs, so I really appreciate that. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. I'll see you guys likely sometime tomorrow. Stay safe, watch the fair weather. Have a great night. Goodbye. Stay safe, watch the fair weather. I'll see you guys tomorrow as long as I'm not sick. Thank you, Mods for Mod.